Hello, everyone. Long time no see. I haven't uploaded in forever. Today I'm here with Coach Adam from TeamElitePhysique.com.
Hello.
And I'm going to do my first check-in in a very long time. I took a 4-month off season. That's crazy. But I'm ready to get back into it. So let's do our check-in. Let's go work out and see what we got.
See what the heck is going on.
See what's going on. Not only are we going to do a check-in, but we're going to do a shoulder workout here at Cult Fitness, which is one of my new sponsors.
Yes.
So I get to work out here and share the content with you guys. But today, Adam came all the way from our contest prep center gym to here just to train with me.
Yes, this is going to be one of our new regular spots. This gym is awesome. It's got good vibes.
Yeah.
New environment. It's always
I
fun.
love coming here a few times a week when I'm not at work, so it's a good one. So you check it out if you're ever in Las Vegas or Henderson. But let's go ahead and get this workout done.
Let's do it. You did good. One, I'm really glad you've had time to let your body and your mind rest a little bit. But at the same time, you know, it's time to get to hard work. There's a little bit of pop. A little bit of pop is gone. Yeah. Not a lot, like, you know, just a little bit. So we gotta hit the weights hard, but your body fat in the off season is like perfect. Like you didn't do bad at all. Your waist still looks good. You can still see your tie-ins. I'm gonna guess somewhere in the neighborhood of 8-ish pounds up, something like that. So yeah, not bad at all. But you can see a little bit in the shoulders.
Yeah, they're deflated.
A little bit in the glutes, just but that's just gonna come with hard work and getting back focused every day. And you know, this is good for you. Good mindset for you, good for your joints, good for your muscle to fully recover, your nervous system. And so as soon as you get back in there, I'm thinking you're probably 6 to 8 weeks out from like your peak physique of muscle, and probably in a normal person, I would say 6 to 8 weeks of like body fat where you would need, but with you know how hard it is for you to get leaner.
We go extra,
I'm gonna
just
say
to be sure.
12-ish to be safe. Even worst case would be like, honestly 12 should be enough, but
yes.
Worst case would be like 14, but 12 should be more than enough.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I was thinking the same. So Adam and I are probably going to aim for like a June show date, and
makes sense.
You know, give or take a few weeks, maybe even July, but I really want to do, there's a few June shows that I really want to do. So if you're trying to avoid me, just go.
You're safe till June.
Safe. Yeah. But yeah, you know, I had a good little off season here, 4 months, and now it's time to get back into it. You know, I have not done any cardio since I competed. Just kind of been eating intuitively, but making healthy choices. So I don't want anyone to think that eating intuitively means whatever you want. You have to have that within reason. So my diet hasn't been super tight. It's just been eating like a normal healthy person.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I'm happy with this off season. I feel like I'm a little bit tighter than I was last off season, so we're already in a better spot. So that's kind of what I was going by. I actually haven't even weighed myself in a long time, so maybe we can do that today.
Yeah, I would say for sure you're leaner than your last off season. And the good thing is too, is this off season, you're actually at a better starting point than last off season too. Not just in body fat, but because you haven't done cardio, you're super resensitized to cardio again. Because you have like a 4-month deload on cardio.
Even
so like,
caffeine, I didn't even,
perfect.
I was very minimal on my caffeine too, just to get resensitized to it.
So goal of the off season is always, you know, get your calories as high as you can without gaining too much body fat. Get your cardio as low as you can without gaining too much body fat. And then a bonus is just desensitize to caffeine, which can help us in prep if we need it. So your settings are all in a really good spot. So high calories, low cardio, we just like that a little bit and, you know, start lifting hard, and that should shorten the window quite a bit actually. So we'll see how your body responds, but
we'll see.
I'm gonna guess it'll be less than what I think, but I'm just throwing it out there for the worst case scenario. 8 weeks would be like best case scenario.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. So that falls right in line with the June, July show date. And it's perfect timing as well, because that's when all the shows start happening. You'll find that, you know, during this time, there's a gap in shows. They're just more sparse, but start like May, June, July, you'll have like 2 shows a weekend. So we'll have more variety. And I feel like last year I started my season a little bit later and didn't do the Arnold, and it worked out well for me. So I'm thinking I just wanted to recreate that kind of scenario again and give my body a little rest. And yeah, things are working for me good. Like my digestion is nice right now. I'm happy and I'm healthy, getting good sleep.
Yeah, I'm excited to hit the circuit with you again.
Yeah.
Have some fun, go to some cool places. It'll be fun.
Heck yeah. Well, let's get me on the scale.
All right.
Get that.
Staying lean, you did a good job. A little less than I thought.
I thought that was gonna be more.
That's great.
So Adam, as you know, I rarely weigh myself. I think it's very surprising for people to hear that, because I compete so frequently. Their picture is probably like I'm weighing myself every day, super hyper obsessed with everything that I consume. But in reality, it's kind of not like that at all. I just live the life. But unexpectedly, I'm a leaner than I thought.
Yeah.
I'm a lot leaner than I thought. I have not done a check-in or weighed myself in a long time.
Yeah, since the Olympia.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, hearing what you weighed at the doctor's office, it was like middle of the day, you drink a ton of water. I was thinking, yeah, you're probably gonna be up a little high. But then I saw you, I said I was like 6 pounds is what I thought. But then I was like, it can't be 6 pounds if you were weighing, would you say 138 at the doctor's office?
Yeah, but I had a lot of coats on and shoes and everything.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, let's say 134 she weighed or something, you know, with all that off. But then I wasn't taking into account all the water. So I was like, I said 6 pounds. And then your stage weight, you know, anywhere between 122-ish range, right? Somewhere around that range. And then right now you weighed 126, which is a big surprise.
Yeah, I was not expecting it to be that low because I didn't try to stay lean.
Yeah, but you could see you're pretty lean. So what I think I still think it is somewhere around 6 pounds.
Yes.
And then I think the other weight, so if you're 126 and you lost those 6 pounds, you'd be 120. So then where's the extra 2-3 pounds? I think that's going to be from just the fullness, right, of being fuller. And it's not just like raw muscle, but just the extra glycogen you store, the extra water with that glycogen in the muscle that weighs that extra couple pounds. And that's where you go. You know, so it's the prep time might be shorter than we think. You know,
I might surprise someone.
Yeah, 6 to 8 weeks to get that muscle fullness back. And then if it is just 6 pounds, like I think, then it's probably going to be like, I guess 8 weeks, like 6 to 8 weeks. Yeah. Could be crazy.
I mean, this, like I said, this surprised me because I was not necessarily trying to stay lean. I was just kind of eating what I wanted to, but in a healthy way, which goes to show you I've developed these habits over time that my body just gravitates towards healthier food, I guess. I went out to eat like once or twice a week. I didn't do any cardio. Training was 5 days a week usually, but sometimes 4. So it's not like I was putting so much intensity in the gym, but I know that's where I need to really step it up now, is the intensity in the gym with my lifts.
Yeah, because that's where you're hitting your peak fullness, was peak intensity, 6 days a week, peak nutrition, everything. So you just, have this nice little break, but the thing is you need a break once in a while. I think a lot of people don't realize that. You need that time to let your nervous system recover, let your muscles fully recover, your joints fully recover, and your mind recover too. I don't really think you need your mind to recover. You're not really that person. But the other stuff you do need. Like everyone needs that stuff. So I think now you're just primed to really just jump back into it and hit the ball, hit the ground running, you know? So
let's freaking do it.
Yeah, no, this is actually a very interesting starting point.
It is, unexpectedly.
Yeah, you're lean, you're still pretty full, and it's like, okay, how fast will this switch turn back on real quick, you know?
One thing I do know of myself, it usually takes longer than what we think. So
yeah,
I try to keep that in the back of my mind, but this is a really good starting point, like you said. And I think that, yeah, it makes just having a good off season just makes everything much easier in the in season, obviously.
Yeah. I think that's the message for everyone that's like viewing this is that a good off season makes an even better in season. You know, instead of you having like because we could be in these same chairs and being like, yeah, Ashley, you're 12 pounds up, 16 pounds up, and it's gonna take 16 weeks if you had to be perfect every week and lost 1 pound, and that's going to be pretty hard for your body specifically.
Right.
Not for some people's body, but for you, it's hard for you to lose that much. And be like, well, maybe not, maybe June isn't it? Let's shoot for, you know, July or August, you know? So the in season just sets you up so well, the off season sets you up so well for the in season and I think that this is a perfect example of like, hey, we're shooting for June, who knows? You could be ready in May, who knows, you know?
Who knows? But I also want to make it a point too that, you know, this is how I do my off season. I'm not saying for anyone else that has to be just like mine or have a certain weight limit. But I will say that I don't view my body in off season negatively at all. I think some of the stress of off season comes from girls struggling with their body image because they look totally different. Which is understandable if you look like a totally different person in the in-season versus off-season. So I don't deal with that, which is a plus for me too, for my mental. So it's like, yeah, I could do photo shoots and I still look good. Am I stage lean? No, but I still look good. I'm ready because I have, you know, sponsors I have to do photo shoots for. I want to look the part. But I also want to make it known that during this off-season, I did not intentionally try to stay a certain weight. That's just what my body gravitated towards. So I don't think that I'm too lean right now at all. I think I look just like more of a normal average fitness girl. And when I'm stage lean, I'm like super impressive fitness girl. But that's one benefit of having a nice off season that often gets overlooked is I don't look like two different people. I'm not stage ready right now, of course, but I feel like I still look the part.
Yeah, I think what it comes down to is you just living the brand, living fitness, you know? And I think that what we see too often, we kind of preach it, is don't go so far off of not living your brand and living in fitness where you're in fitness for short periods and then you're just not at all in fitness for long periods. And if you just stay somewhat, you know, grounded in it and you're eating pretty healthy, still having your meals a couple times a week going out. And we've been out to dinner, you know, which is, you weren't like,
had some drinks. Shh.
Yeah.
Shh.
Yeah. I was like, who is this girl drinking out here? So it's cool to see, you know, the balance. I think that's the true balance, you know? I live fit, I eat mostly clean, but I still had a couple meals. I went out for 4 months. I wasn't tracking my calories, making sure I'm getting my protein in, making sure I'm not going crazy, but still like letting myself have that. I think that was like the true balance, what everyone kind of seeks. It's hard where you're at a high level of being able to do that, but I think that's what people should be kind of aspiring to be at. That's like the perfect thing.
Yeah, I almost feel a little bit guilty because I'm like, this was easy for me to stay this way.
A little bit than we both thought was going to be. That's crazy, yeah.
But I know it's not the same for others, so I do empathize with that. So that makes me feel a a little guilty, like, shoot, I didn't even try to stay this lean, okay.
Yeah, you stayed
pretty
lean.
I'll take it.
You stayed pretty lean. I'm surprised, 100% surprised by it. Based on the weights and everything, I was expecting at least 30s, like in the 30s. I was like, okay, whatever, with, you know, 32, 33. I was like, it has to be somewhere there, like this point, because you're human, you know?
Yes.
But, you know, I guess you're just a tardigrade and it doesn't apply to you.
That's what's up. That's right. All right. Well, that was a good off season, Adam. Now it's time to get back to business.
Who knew? Who knew this was going to be such a great off season?
I didn't know. I didn't try.
You know?
I will say that. Didn't try. But hey, it is what it is.
I think you needed it. You know? I know that your mindset is super strong and most people probably don't, but with how you're going to go on the run for the next, you know, who knows? It could be another 2 years. Like, it's nice that you had this.
Yes.
So I think it was good.
Exactly.
I think it was a net
I recharged my battery a little bit, so Not necessarily any particular goal, but just to recharge the
You
battery.
really do run those batteries dry.
Yeah.
You push those, like, yeah. You
The
push
battery
those-
in Kazakhstan was like dead.
Yeah, that was the goal too. So you did a good job of that. Yeah, so let's get it going. Yeah, let's get it going.
Right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry it's been such a gap between my last upload, but I'll try to be better this year.
Get on her in the comments. Get on her in the comment section.
I
We
know.
want to see content. We want to see Ashley Kate content.
You know. Well, I'll try to be better. So thank you for watching this one at least, and I'll check you next week.
Bye,
Maybe.
guys.